Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. That was Freya, I'm Jason, we're bringing you today's video. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We've got a bunch of videos coming out for you guys. We'd appreciate any support. We're just a small family channel. We just love to talk about books. It's what we want to do. Today, I want to talk about a book that was actually recommended to me. And don't forget to check links down below for today's book and any other applicable links that I may be able to come up with. Remember, we are here to support indie authors, so definitely check out any of the indie authors that we talk about. This was recommended to me by a couple of our viewers. Martha Wells and her Murderbot Diaries. Book 1. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, because in my head when I know it's a series I just start thinking book 1, book 2, book 3. But the name will be also down below. Murderbot Diaries. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Excuse me. As always, I'm going to talk about 4 things. The world, character, plot, the writing style. So book 1. Book 1 is kind of an introduction to the character, and it's pretty awesome. So the world. We're looking at far future. We're looking at far future. Humanity has spread out, and we've spread out greatly. We are all over the place to the point where we do not have central unified government. There are multiple governments out there. That's something we learned. So there's a lot of politics involved. And the central premise to this book is the security units. Now, we've spread out. We're throughout the stars. The companies and corporations tend to rule things, which honestly doesn't surprise most of us. And exploration and pretty much anything that is off-planet is going to be governed by corporations, or really more than anything else, insurance companies. They call them bond companies, but really, come on, we know who it is. It's the insurance companies. And they require security units. So, you know, if you're going out exploring, you're going out on an archaeological dig on another planet or something along those lines, you're required to have security. And the security are basically robots. They're almost cyborgs. They use cloned flesh and, of course, cybernetic enhancements. So they are robots with flesh. If they take the helmets off, they have a face. They can almost pass, but with the right clothing and body armor, they could pass as humans. And in some cultures within our expanded galactic reach, they actually are looked at as they're looked at as artificial intelligences, which are therefore looked at as actual humans, actual living beings. Although there's some caveats to that is discussed in the book. But these security units, some there are military versions, and then there are security versions, and they are they're programmed, and they're contracted out to then a certain number per number of people, and so on and so forth, for the bonds, for the insurance, for the companies. Our central character calls himself Murderbot. He is a security unit. However, it's a security unit that hacked his own governing module, so he is absolutely independent. Able to do and think his own things. Now, he's not stupid, so he still kind of goes along, does what he's told, pretends he's following orders, pretends he's getting all the updates, does actually follow orders, does what he's told, because he knows that if he didn't, he would be deactivated really freaking quick. Now, this time around, he is single security for a small little exploration surveying operation. Now there's some politics behind it that we learn later on in the book that aren't necessarily applicable to the central plot line, but basically they get betrayed. They are betrayed. They are attempted. Somebody tries to kill them, and the other survey team that they know is on this planet that they talk to does get killed, and they investigate this, and throughout this, Murderbot's secrets start to come out, at least to the people that he is contracted to protect, while they are trying to figure out what is going on. By the way, the reason he calls himself Murderbot is pretty interesting. It also comes out near the end of the book, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a central point, because it deals with his history. It's going to be a central point to a later book, and I am looking forward to that, absolutely. But Murderbot and the rest of his group that he's protecting, they have to, 1, survive, 2, figure out who these murderers are, 3, figure out how they're doing it, and 4, figure out how to defeat them, if at all possible. And it's pretty interesting, Murderbot is not your typical science fiction protagonist in that he is not all-powerful, for one. Yes, he's got a couple guns in his arms, just so do all the other security bots. And any military-grade bots would absolutely destroy him, and he knows it. And he's not some massive, powerful hacker. He's not some master tactician. He will even mention that the programming that he has is the cheapest programming possible. They will do everything they can to save as much money as they can by giving them the cheapest, least useful programming, knowledge, skills that is possible. The absolute bare bones, bare minimum. That's what he's got programmed in. And now he's learned it a little bit on his own, although he mostly watches soap operas. But he's not your infallible, all-powerful master anything. And in fact, he's a robot that has social anxiety, which is pretty interesting. But this book, what this book does, as they manage to go through this and start figuring things out, try to figure out ways to survive, Murderbot starts to make a couple of connections, I suppose, in a way that enables him to eventually break free and manage to completely break free. And that's what that's what I'm really looking forward to reading in the rest of the books. Like I said, this book just really introduces Murderbot, introduces what he can do, what he cannot do. I tell you this, he gets effed up quite a few times. And a little bit of this wider galaxy, plus some backstory to Murderbot, and then kind of cuts him loose. I'm pretty sure that this is almost like the origin story in a way, and I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the books. So again, guys, this is an awesome book. Awesome book. Real quick, real easy read. It's not super long, so it'd be a great book to read if you're trying to kill some time or on a plane flight, or on your breaks at work, whatever it may be. Go check it out. Martha Wells, The Murderbot Diaries, Book 1. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.